Set on the banks of a river and crowned by a hilltop fortress, the dreamy city of Salzburg is understandably one of Austria's most well-known travel destinations. Thanks to its location and excellent train connections, it's also a popular day trip from cities like Munich and Vienna. In this video, we'll take you through our day exploring the city and share practical tips that helped us plan our visit. You definitely can't see everything in just one day, but I do hope this video will help show you that even a short visit is well worth it. We had a very early start taking the train from Munich, arriving in Salzburg before 9 a.m. We began our day at the Mirabell Gardens, which is just a 15-minute walk from the train station and on the way into the Old Town. I'm going to pop in the bottom corner a rough guide to what time we arrived at each place and approximately how long we spent there. This is to give you an idea of what you can realistically fit into a day. Of course, everybody explores at their own pace, so it is just meant as a guide. There's no need to take your stopwatch on holiday. Mirabell Gardens are part of the Baroque Mirabell Palace, built way back in the 1600s by the Prince Archbishop as a token of love for his mistress. These gardens are meticulously landscaped with vibrant flower beds, ornate statues and grand fountains. From here, you'll also get your first proper glimpse of the fortress. If you've seen The Sound of Music, then you might recognise parts of these gardens from the famous do-re-mi scene. Salzburg and the surrounding area is home to plenty of Sound of Music filming locations, so if you are a big fan, you might want to take one of the really popular Sound of Music tours. If you're into classical music, Mozart's residence is just outside the gardens. Mozart lived here with his family in the late 1700s, and it's now a small museum where you'll find his original pianoforte. With just one day, this wasn't a priority for us, so we didn't go in, but perhaps this is something that would interest you. From here, we walked up to the Capuciner Monastery, perched on a hill, offering one of the best viewpoints in Salzburg. The first viewpoint you reach is lovely, but don't stop there. Keep going, and just around the corner, bam, you'll be treated to a cracking view of the fortress and the beautiful city below. Salzburg does have some other great viewpoints, so if you're looking to trim your itinerary, this might be one activity to consider cutting, especially if the weather's bad and visibility is rubbish. That said, we were glad we made time for it on our day trip. By the way, I've put together a map of all these places I'm mentioning, and it's linked with a written version of our itinerary in the description below this video. Now, back to our day. After heading back down the hill, we crossed a pedestrian bridge adorned with lovelocks on our way into the Old Town. Even if you've seen many lovelock bridges before, this one offers some really lovely views and is a popular spot for photos. After crossing the river, we strolled along the really pretty, albeit busy, Getreidegasse. This street has a timeless feel, with handcrafted wrought iron signs hanging above the shop doorways. Even if you aren't interested in the shops, it's still worth seeing. The street is also home to Mozart's birthplace. You can walk through the family apartment, browse displays, and even see the violin that Mozart used as a child. If, like us, you don't go in, you still can't miss seeing it from the outside. And I do mean you can't miss it. It's bright yellow. Close to Mozart's birthplace is University Square, where the traditional green market has been held since the 18th century. It is only small, but we love browsing stalls whenever we stumble across a market, so if you're the same, you might enjoy this. If Mozart and the sound of music don't interest you, that's okay, because just a few steps from University Square you'll find human-sized gherkin statues. That's right, gherkin statues. Salzburg really does have something for everyone. For a quick lunch we stopped by Salzburger Grill. We both tried the traditional Bosner, which originated in Salzburg. This flavourful sausage is seasoned with a hot spice mix and served on perfectly toasted white bread. Delicious. For dessert, we visited one of the 4 Fürst locations in the Old Town to try the original Mozartkugel. This truffle is filled with marzipan, nougat and pistachio and covered in chocolate. It's pretty rich, so you'll only need one, but I definitely wouldn't blame you if you had more. Salzburg has several very impressive squares, all just a short walk from each other. You can admire pastel-coloured buildings, soak in the atmosphere, and take in the sights along the way. Don't miss the giant golden Kugel, Mozart statue, and the residence fountain, which is often said to be the most beautiful in the city. Next, we quietly explored the peaceful St. Peter's Cemetery, where beautifully ornate graves rest alongside catacombs that were carved into the cliff face. No visit to Salzburg is complete without a trip to the Hohensalzburg Fortress, a fully preserved medieval landmark that towers high above the city. Recognised as the largest castle in Central Europe, it was originally built back in the 18th century as a protective stronghold and as a symbol of the Archbishop's power. To reach the fortress, you can take the funicular or walk around 20 minutes to the top. We chose the funicular, partly to save time and partly because we thought it would be fun. Once inside, you can explore different parts of the castle, including exhibits on the fortress's history and its connection to the city. Check out the prison, the armoury, and even a puppet collection. You'll also get some amazing views of the city and the surrounding mountains from the fortress, with the observation tower offering an incredible panoramic view of Salzburg. We spent around 2 hours exploring the fortress, but if you are walking up, remember to factor in extra time for the hike. There are 4 ticket options available: the basic ticket, the advanced ticket, and versions of both that include the funicular. We chose the basic option with the funicular, which covers most of the fortress. For a little bit more time and money, the advance tickets grants you access to the princely chambers and the Magic Theatre. You might have noticed that I've sometimes mentioned the Salzburg card when showing prices in the bottom corner of the screen. This card offers free entry to a lot of the main attractions. It includes public transport, although the city is very walkable, so you might only need buses if you're heading further afield. As a rule of thumb, if you're planning to visit the fortress and another museum, for example Mozart's birthplace, the Salzburg card might save you money. For us it wasn't worth it, but maybe it will be for you depending on your plans. Once we left the fortress, it was still too early for dinner, so we wandered around the charming streets and courtyards of the old town for a bit longer. That's when we randomly came across this procession. We had no idea what was going on, but it was a nice surprise. It reached the point where our feet were very ready for a break, so we picked a spot at an outdoor cafe and people watched with a pre-dinner drink. For dinner, we visited Berenwert, one of the city's oldest traditional restaurants. While they're particularly known for their fried chicken, we ordered the cheesy pasta dumplings with fried onion and the boiled beef, which was much nicer than it sounds. If there is a restaurant you have your heart set on trying, then I would recommend making a reservation in advance. After a busy day of sightseeing, sitting by the river on a warm summer night, watching the lights glimmer across the water was the perfect way to end our day. Was one day in Salzburg long enough? No, but we had no regrets choosing this location for our day trip from Munich and we're left hoping to return to Salzburg in the future. I'll wrap up this video with a breakdown of what we spent so you can see how much a day like ours cost. Since most of the things we wanted to see and do were free, most of our budgets went on food and drink, so if I were visiting on a smaller budget, that's where I'd look to save. Thanks for watching, I hope you found this video helpful.